friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and today I want to talk about the Palpatine returning fan theories. Now, there's some that are more plausible than others, and quite a few that I really think are a lot of fun. If you caught my live stream of the actual video breakdown of the trailer breakdown, it was a lot of fun. I got really excited for all the stuff that could be coming, all the potential that this new movie is. I'm just sad that it is coming to a close. The Skywalker saga is coming to a close, but it's obviously not the end of Star Wars. Now, if you haven't seen the trailer, stop the video, go and watch it. It's phenomenal. But one thing shocked us all, guys. It was Palpatine's laughter at the end of the trailer. What does it mean? Who is it? So on and so forth. There's so many questions, right? Now, there's a few key points that I want to make. In an interview with, I believe, the Star Wars show, Ian McDiarmid said that Palpatine is definitely dead, right? He's dead. And so that leads us to a few specific things. Now, first and foremost, Palpatine's voice could be a forceback or a flashback, as we saw in episode 7. Now, we definitely got some moments there. We got some discussion in the book. There are some speaking moments. There's not as much dialogue in the movie, but it's still there. It's underneath. So we could be seeing a forceback. We could be seeing a flashback. That's possible, and it's very likely, seeing as how Rey had a similar experience in episode 8. Now, if you remember in episode 8, that really weird, really strange moment where Rey's snapping her fingers and everything's odd and there's like a bajillion Reys, that's not a forceback, that's not a flashback. That is Rey, in my opinion, visiting the world between worlds. Now, the world between worlds was created by Dave Filoni and crew for the Star Wars Rebels TV series. Really, Dave Filoni created the world between worlds because he had a feeling that quite possibly Rian Johnson's video or movie wouldn't be as well received as it needed to be, and it was a safeguard against fan backlash. That's my own conspiracy theory. I'm right. But the world between worlds was a moment when Ezra was able to go back in time to travel from different times and spaces and portals and save the life of Ahsoka Tano as she fought Darth Vader. Now, why didn't he go back and stop Vader from being Vader? That's a different question altogether. Why didn't Deadpool kill baby Hitler? We don't know. This is what I'm thinking, guys. It's very possible that Rey could be passing through the world between worlds and actually see Palpatine, who was part of the world between worlds, who was able to harness the world between worlds. It's very, very possible. We do know that Palpatine, once the Jedi were exterminated, took over the Jedi Temple, and underneath the Jedi Temple is a very ancient, very powerful Sith Temple, something that the Jedi didn't want to come to light. It is possible that that's where the gateway for the world between worlds is. I don't know, but it's possible. Now, if it's none of those things, it could simply be a Palpatine robot. Now, we know, based on the events in Star Wars Battlefront 2, Palpatine created these like server droids who went around and delivered messages to people, and they used his voice. Is it so far-fetched that they also used his laughter? I don't know. I don't feel like it would be, but I don't buy that as much as, I mean, it's very plausible and very possible and a great way to keep continuity. I think they're going to go a little bigger than that. If it's not Palpatine in real life, if he's not been cloned like we saw in the old canon, again, very possible. We don't know what happened to the Kaminoans and the technology. We do know a little bit about the Kaminoans and the technology. Based on the Pirate's Price, we know that there's still some cloners out there doing some rogue things. Is it possible? I don't know. But if it's none of that stuff, the one theory that I really like and that I really enjoy is that Palpatine isn't dead. His body's dead, but his essence isn't dead. Now, we have a few pieces of canon. We have Darth Bane as canon. Yes, he was introduced in Star Wars Clone Wars. There's a moment where Yoda goes to Moraban, which is a stupid renaming for Korriban, but whatever. But he goes to Moraban and he embraces, or he meets, the Sith ghost of Darth Bane. Now, there's a moment, obviously, and it's pretty cool in the cartoon, but Darth Bane's canon. Darth Bane was the one who created the Rule of Two. Darth Bane, outside of this, as far as canon goes, we don't know a lot about him. Did Darth Bane somehow create a way or harness the transfer essence ability, being able to transfer his force spirit into another's body? Now, that would be really cool. If that were the case, could the concept of there are always two mean that the master always lets his apprentice kill him so that he could transfer his body to someone else? Now, we do know that Sith do haunt things, and Sith are able to use the haunted objects that they haunt to take over the body of others. This was evident in the Star Wars Vader comic, where like this ancient Sith Momin, who is the architect of Vader's palace, this power essentially creates this mask that inhabits anyone who wears it, right? And so like it's a mask, and so on. It's a really cool comic series. I highly recommend you guys read it. It's phenomenal. The idea that Palpatine didn't want Vader to know about the ability, he didn't want Vader to know that that's something that could exist, doesn't seem accurate, because Palpatine was the one that gave Vader the mask. So it is altogether possible and probable that Vader knew that by killing his master, he would then be subject to his master's spirit. That's why he didn't want Luke to save him. That's why he wanted Luke to let him die, so that his master couldn't inhabit his body. Well, then the question is, whose body does the master inhabit?
Oh, come on. What are they doing up there all the time?
Well, we don't know right off the bat. The clearest subject, or the clearest, idea, or the most likely person would be Emperor Snoke. But where was Snoke during all of the events of the Galactic Republic, the rise of the Galactic Republic, the fall of the Empire? We don't know. Does it need to be a person who is close to the Empire, or to the person who's about to die? Possibly. If he is close, could it have been Luke? Is that why we see Luke having changed so drastically? Maybe that's what Luke was doing at the very end. He was, in episode 8, he was purging himself of that evil spirit, right? Is it possible? I don't know. Anything's possible. Is it probable? I would hope, based on what we've seen from the comics, I would think that it's not Luke. Again, based on the stuff that we've seen, it just doesn't feel like Luke. It could be. It very well could be. And Snoke could be a red herring. But if it's not, somehow Palpatine's spirit, which could have been Plagueis' spirit, which is most likely Plagueis' spirit, which again could trace all the way back to Bane, could very well be currently in Kylo Ren. If it's in Kylo Ren, the real question we have to ask is there any evidence in the trailer that we see? There are 3 shots with Kylo Ren, or that specifically allude to Kylo Ren. One is Kylo Ren cutting a dude in half. Now, he doesn't cut him in half, which is a little unfortunate, because let's face it, a saber to the gut would definitely slice you in half. It would bisect you. It absolutely would. We see someone flying a ship that looks like Kylo Ren's ship at Rey. We see the hands. Those are clearly the gloves that Kylo Ren was wearing, but we don't see a face. That's odd. Why don't we see a face? That seems really strange, right? Then, jump back. we see hands, those same gloves, putting back together Kylo Ren's mask, right? These knitting together through the red, and it's very symbolic of hatred and anger and so on. We don't see Kylo Ren without the mask, and we don't see Kylo Ren actually putting it together. Now, we can't assume that the person putting it together is Kylo Ren, even though everything is showing us that, yeah, it's clearly Kylo Ren. This could be showing us that Kylo Ren, as we know him, is not really Kylo Ren. Could it be that Snoke was somehow preparing his servant, Kylo Ren, with hatred, with anger, until he was ripe enough to transfer his essence? And that's when he let Kylo Ren slice him in half to then transfer his physical, his powers into a new form. Now, if it transferred into a new form, what better form to take than that of the blood relative of the Chosen One? It just makes sense. Now, we know that there's a lot of really cool stuff out there, and that Episode 9 is supposed to, based on all the theories, based on all the leaks and speculation, Episode 9 is supposed to change the way we feel about Luke, change the way the whole story is. Now, I don't necessarily care for that on its face, because I like the story, and if I am subverted in simply for the sake of, they want to mess with me and my fandom, that would frustrate me. If they do it in a way that's cool and unexpected, that's different. These are my thoughts, guys. I really think that we could be seeing a force spirit being passed from one to another, a forced possession of some sort being passed from one Sith to another, until we see Kylo Ren. And the redemption of Kylo Ren is this expulsion of this dark side spirit. And maybe, quite possibly maybe, he does turn back to the light side, because the evil that was in him is not the evil that was from him. I don't know, guys. These are just some of the current fan theories revolving around the Palpatine laugh. I don't think it's Palpatine proper. I think it's that laugh is Bane's laugh or someone else's laugh, or it's a different laugh. But I don't think we're going to see Palpatine in the film as of yet. I might be dead wrong. We still have a long time, 8 months before the film actually comes out. And between now and then, there's going to be a lot of new stuff that launches, and I'm really excited to see what that looks like. But what do you think? What did you think of the trailer? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you excited? I am stoked, guys. I am so freaking excited for this. Leave a comment in the section below. Like, subscribe, share. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Join us on Discord and join the conversation. Let me know what you think about all of this. There are so many theories out there, and these are just a few of them. If you feel like supporting the channel, subscribe, obviously, but, visit my Going Nerdy swag store and let me know what you think. Support the channel, get a t-shirt. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and as always, my friends, smile and stay nerdy.